Every single person listening to me right now has habits, not always big, obvious ones, but quiet, destructive patterns that are eating away at your peace, your confidence, and your future. The truth is, most people don't lose in life because they aren't smart enough or talented enough. They lose because of the things they keep doing that sabotage their own progress. If you can remove just 4 of these toxic habits starting this week, you will not recognize yourself in the next 6 months. And yes, some of them might surprise you. Stay with me until the end, because the last one is the most dangerous of all. And I guarantee it's the reason many good people never see the life they dream about. Overthinking is one of the most disguised killers of dreams. It doesn't come with alarms, it doesn't show up in flashing red lights. It sneaks in quietly, wearing the mask of being careful or wanting to be prepared. You tell yourself you're just weighing all your options, but the truth is, you're delaying the very thing you need to start. You think about the idea, you plan the idea, you talk about the idea, but when it's time to move, you freeze. And here's the problem: while you're still running mental simulations, the opportunity is already moving past you. Life does not wait for perfect timing. Life rewards movement. Perfection is the oldest and most effective excuse your fear will ever use against you. It whispers, wait until you're ready. Wait until you know for sure. Wait until you're certain you won't fail. And so you wait a month, a year, sometimes a lifetime. You convince yourself you're making progress by thinking, but thinking without action is like trying to get in shape by reading about exercise. It feels like you're doing something, but you're not. The truth is, you'll never have all the answers. You'll never be fully ready. And here's the twist most people miss: you actually become ready by starting. Confidence isn't built in the planning stage. It's built in the doing stage. Look at the people you admire, the ones who seem fearless, the ones who keep moving forward. Do you think they had every detail figured out before they began? No, they stepped into uncertainty. They acted without a guarantee. They learned, adjusted, and improved along the way. And that's exactly why they are where they are now. Overthinking isn't protecting you. It's protecting your comfort zone. It's giving you just enough mental activity to feel busy, while keeping you exactly where you are. It's fear wrapped in logic, and the only way to break it is to make a decision, commit to it, and move forward without needing to see the whole staircase. Think of it like this: imagine you're driving at night. Your headlights don't light up the entire journey. They only show you the next few meters ahead. But you keep moving forward because you trust that as you go, the road will keep revealing itself. That's how life works. You don't need to see the whole road to start driving. This week, instead of asking yourself, what if I'm wrong? Start asking, what if I'm right? What if this works? What if the door I've been waiting for is actually on the other side of the step I've been afraid to take? And yes, you will make mistakes. You will take wrong turns. But every wrong turn teaches you something you could never have learned standing still. Every failure carries a lesson that sharpens your next move. The person who moves and fails 10 times will always be further ahead than the person who never moved at all. So here's the challenge. Pick one thing you've been thinking about for too long. A project, a conversation, a decision, and take one bold step toward it this week. Not another hour of research, not another week of getting ready. One concrete action, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect. Because at the end of the day, life is not going to hand you more time. You're not going to wake up one morning and magically be fearless. The fear will still be there. The uncertainty will still be there. But if you can learn to move anyway, to choose progress over perfection, you'll discover that action is the cure for overthinking. The choice is yours. Keep analyzing the dream until it dies, or take the first step and watch it come alive. One of the easiest ways to slowly lose yourself is to keep saying yes. When your heart, your mind, and even your body are screaming, no. On the surface, it looks harmless. You agree to help. You accept the invitation. You take on the extra task. People even praise you for being so nice and so accommodating. But deep down, every time you say yes, when you don't mean it, you're making a silent withdrawal from your self-respect. You start thinking you're being kind, but it's not kindness. It's self-betrayal. Because kindness should never require you to harm yourself in the process. Every time you agree to something that violates your time, your energy, or your values, you're teaching the world that you're available for anything, no matter the cost to you. Here's the painful truth most people avoid. People-pleasing is not love, it's fear. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being rejected. Fear of being seen as selfish. So you keep bending, and bending, and bending, until one day you realize you've bent so much you no longer recognize who you are. And here's where it gets dangerous. The more you say yes to the wrong things, the less room you have for the right things. Your time is not unlimited. Your energy is not infinite. Every commitment you make is an investment. And if you're constantly investing in things that drain you, don't be surprised when you have nothing left for the things that could actually grow you. Think about it. How many times have you said yes and immediately felt that sinking feeling in your chest? That voice in your head saying, I really didn't want to do that, but I couldn't say no. And yet, you go along with it. You show up. You give your time. But inside, resentment is quietly building. You smile on the outside, but you're irritated on the inside. And the worst part, the other person has no idea you didn't want to be there because you never told them. Learning to say no is not about being rude or uncaring. It's about being honest. It's about protecting your time so you can show up fully for the commitments that actually matter to you. When you stop overcommitting, you start living with integrity because your actions match your true feelings. This week, I want you to think of your yes as currency. You only have so much to spend. Would you hand out your money to every single person who asks for it without thinking twice? Of course not. So why do you treat your time and your energy, things far more valuable than money, as if they have no limit? And here's something powerful to remember: every no to something that drains you is actually a yes to something better, a word. Saying no to a toxic request is saying yes to your peace. Saying no to an extra task you can't handle is saying yes to your health. Saying no to being overextended is saying yes to your sanity. It won't be easy at first, if you've built your identity around being the one who always says yes. People will notice when you start setting boundaries. Some may push back. Some may try to guilt you. But that's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're finally taking control of your life. You were not created to be a doormat for other people's expectations. You were not meant to be endlessly available at the cost of your own well-being. You have a right and a responsibility to protect your time, your energy, and your values. Because when you do, you stop living by the demands of everyone else, and you start living by the direction of your own purpose. So, the next time you feel pressured to say yes out of guilt, remember this: every forced yes is a silent no to yourself. And if you keep betraying yourself, you can't expect others to truly value you. Choose your yes carefully. Make it mean something, and don't be afraid to let your no protect the life you're building. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to rob yourself of peace. You could be making progress, you could be improving every single day, but the moment you compare your journey to someone else's, you suddenly feel behind, unworthy, and stuck. It's a cruel trick your mind plays on you, because when you compare, you're almost never looking at the full picture. You're looking at the highlight reel of someone else's life, not the struggle, not the mistakes, not the nights they almost gave up. You see the result, word, not the process. And yet you hold yourself to that image as if it's the full truth. Here's the problem. When you measure yourself against someone else's path, you stop valuing your own. You forget that you have different challenges, different opportunities, word, and a different timing for your breakthroughs. What's meant for you can't be rushed, and what's meant for someone else will never fit you, no matter how hard you try. Comparison also has a way of turning gratitude into envy. You could be living a life that once felt like a dream to you, word, but because someone else has more, you convince yourself it's not enough. That's the danger. You lose sight of how far you've actually come. Instead of constantly asking, why am I not where they are? Start asking, am I further than I was yesterday, last month, last year? That's the only comparison that matters, the one between who you were and who you're becoming. When you focus on your own growth, you start to notice things you've overlooked, the skills you've built, the challenges you've overcome, word, the moments you stayed disciplined when it would have been easier to quit. Those are your victories. They might not make headlines, word, but they are shaping the person you're becoming. The truth is, the person you're comparing yourself to might be looking at you right now, word, wishing they had something you take for granted. We're all looking over the fence, thinking the grass is greener, word, forgetting that the grass is greenest where you water it. So this week, every time you catch yourself comparing, stop and write down 3 things you've improved in. Let those reminders anchor you in gratitude. Because when you start appreciating your own lane, you'll realize you were never behind. You were simply on a different road. Your journey is yours for a reason. Don't waste it staring at someone else's. Avoiding hard conversations feels safe in the moment, but it comes with a hidden cost. Every time you choose silence over honesty, the problem doesn't disappear. It grows in the dark. You might avoid conflict today, but the unspoken words sit inside you, building tension, breeding misunderstanding, and slowly turning into resentment. Word. It's easy to convince yourself you're keeping the peace by not bringing things up. But real peace is not the absence of discomfort. It's the presence of truth. When you hide how you feel, you create a false harmony. And false harmony always cracks under pressure. The fear of confrontation is often a fear of losing something, a relationship, approval, or control, word. But the reality is, if your connection with someone can't survive an honest conversation, then it was never as strong as you thought. The longer you avoid the conversation, the harder it becomes to have it. Small issues turn into big issues. Misunderstandings pile up, word. And suddenly you're reacting to a mountain that could have been handled when it was just a pebble. Hard conversations are uncomfortable. Yes, word. But they're also opportunities. Opportunities to clear the air, to rebuild trust, to understand the other person better, word. And to stop the silent buildup of frustration. Your voice matters. Your feelings matter. Speaking up doesn't make you aggressive, and it doesn't make you unkind. It makes you honest. And honesty, even when it's messy, is the foundation of real connection. This week, think of one conversation you've been avoiding. The one you replay in your mind but never say out loud. Take a deep breath, prepare your heart, and have it. Even if your voice shakes, even if you're nervous, because avoiding it won't protect you. It will only prolong the discomfort. Word. One of the most freeing shifts you can make in life is to stop measuring your worth by how quickly you're moving compared to someone else. Word. And start celebrating the progress you've made, no matter how small it seems. The world will always try to convince you that you're behind. Social media, peers, even family will feed you stories of people your age or younger who are already ahead. They have the career, the house, the followers, the recognition. And without even realizing it, you start sprinting toward their timeline, chasing their pace. Word. Thinking you're not enough until you match it. But here's the truth: speed means nothing if you're running in the wrong direction. Word. What good is it to reach someone else's destination quickly if it was never meant for you in the first place? Your pace isn't slow, it's personal. Word. And the beauty of your journey is that it's unfolding exactly as it should for you. When you stop chasing someone else's timeline. Word. You give yourself permission to actually live your life instead of constantly feeling like you're failing at it. Word. You start noticing the wins you've been ignoring, the habits you've built, the lessons you've learned, the challenges you've overcome. The problem is, most of us don't count those as victories because they don't look big enough to post about. But progress is progress, whether it's dramatic or quiet. The fact that you didn't quit when it got hard, that's progress. The fact that you handled a problem better than you would have last year, that's progress. Word. The fact that you kept showing up even when no one was watching, that's progress. Think of growth like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing faster. You water it, you protect it, and you trust that it's developing at its own pace. Your life works the same way. There will be seasons where everything moves quickly, and seasons where growth is happening beneath the surface, invisible, but still real. When you focus on celebrating your personal progress, you build momentum. Word. You stop living in constant comparison and start building genuine self-confidence. Confidence isn't just believing you can do great things. It's also recognizing that you are doing great things, even if they're not flashy yet. And here's something powerful to remember. There is no universal deadline for your dreams. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn for the next step. So this week, I want you to take a moment to reflect, not on how far you have to go, but on how far you've already come. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Acknowledge it. Because when you truly see and celebrate your own progress, you'll find that the pressure to catch up disappears. Your pace is your power. Protect it, celebrate it, and keep moving forward, not to match someone else's life, but to create the one that's meant for you. Avoidance feels safe in the moment. You think, I'll just let it go. I won't say anything. It's not worth the trouble. And for a short while, it seems like the problem has disappeared. But avoidance doesn't erase a problem. It buries it. Word. And anything you bury still exists. It just grows where you can't see it. Hard conversations are avoided for many reasons. Fear of conflict. Word. Fear of hurting someone's feelings, fear of rejection, or simply the discomfort of speaking your truth. But when you avoid them, word, you don't protect yourself. You poison yourself slowly. Here's what happens every time you avoid saying what you really think or feel. You carry that weight inside you. And over time, that weight becomes resentment. Resentment is silent at first. You may still smile, still act normal, but inside a small fire is burning. The longer you stay silent, the hotter that fire gets. Eventually, word, it doesn't just burn the relationship, it burns you. And here's the painful reality. The more you avoid these conversations, word, the more you train yourself to believe your voice doesn't matter. You start to think that your comfort, your needs, word, and your boundaries are less important than keeping the peace. But the peace you think you're keeping isn't real. It's an illusion. It's like painting over cracks in a wall instead of fixing the foundation. It might look fine for now, but the damage is still there. Word. What many people don't realize is that hard conversations are not just about solving problems. They're about building trust. Word. When you're willing to speak up, you're showing the other person that your relationship can handle truth. It might get tense. It might be uncomfortable. But in that discomfort is the possibility of clarity, healing, and deeper connection. Avoiding the truth may protect you from temporary awkwardness. Word, but it will cost you long-term authenticity. It will cost you closeness, and it will cost you self-respect. Yes, honesty is risky. Word. There's a chance the conversation won't go how you want, but there's also a chance it could go better than you expect. You could gain understanding. Word. You could repair trust. You could set a boundary that finally frees you from repeating the same frustrating cycles. Word. Think of the hard conversations you've been avoiding. Maybe it's telling someone how their actions are affecting you. Maybe it's admitting a mistake. Word. Maybe it's asking for something you need, but have been too afraid to request. This week, choose one. Word. Don't wait until resentment builds into something explosive. Speak while it's still small enough to handle with care. Because here's the truth. Unspoken words don't just disappear. They echo in your mind, they color your emotions, and they shape the way you see the other person, whether you admit it or not. Word. Honesty is one of the most powerful forces you can bring into your life, but it's also one of the scariest. We've been taught from an early age to avoid upsetting others, to smooth over tension. Word. To keep certain truths to ourselves so things stay comfortable. But here's the thing, comfort built on dishonesty is just a cage with soft walls. Word. You might feel safe for a while, but deep down, you're trapped. Courageous honesty isn't about being blunt or cruel. Word. It's about having the strength to speak what's real, even when it's uncomfortable. Word. Because you know that truth is the foundation for anything healthy, relationships, careers, and even your own mental peace. Without honesty, there is no trust. And without trust, there is no real connection. When you're not honest, whether with others or with yourself, life becomes foggy. You're constantly editing yourself, hiding parts of what you think or feel, and tiptoeing around the truth. That takes energy, a lot of it. Word. You carry the mental weight of keeping stories straight, remembering what you didn't say, and avoiding certain topics. It's exhausting. Word. But when you choose courageous honesty, something incredible happens. The fog lifts. You see things clearly. You stop wasting energy on pretending. And you start living from a place of alignment. People know where you stand. You know where you stand. And even if the truth is hard in the moment, it sets you free in the long run. Yes, there's a risk. Some people won't like what you have to say. Some may walk away. But those who remain, they'll be the people who value you for who you truly are, not the mask you've been wearing. That's the gift of honesty. It filters your life so only what's real remains. Being courageously honest with yourself is just as important. Word. It means facing the things you'd rather avoid, admitting when you've made mistakes, when you've been afraid. Word. When you've settled for less than you deserve. Self-honesty can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But it's also the doorway to change. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Clarity comes when truth is spoken. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The shadows disappear, and you can finally see where you're going. Word. Freedom comes when you no longer have to pretend, when your words match your values, and when your relationships are built on trust rather than performance. Word. So this week, practice one act of courageous honesty. Say the thing you've been holding back. Admit the truth you've been avoiding. Choose to live in clarity even if it's uncomfortable at first. Because in the end, a life built on truth may not always be the easiest, but it will always be the freest. Sometimes, word. Transformation doesn't start with adding new things to your life. It starts with removing the things that are holding you back. We often think the key to success is learning more, doing more, hustling more. Word. But if you're still carrying habits that quietly drain your energy and sabotage your progress, no amount of new strategies will work. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has holes in it. The more you pour in, the more you lose. Word. Quitting the 4 habits we've talked about isn't just about stopping something negative. It's about creating space for something better. Overthinking clutters your mind, constant people pleasing depletes your energy, comparison steals your gratitude, and avoiding hard conversations blocks your growth. These aren't small issues. They're invisible barriers keeping you from the life you want. Word. When you stop overthinking, you free up mental energy that can finally be used for action. You start moving forward, learning by doing, word. Instead of staying stuck in the loop of, what if? That movement alone can change your trajectory faster than any perfect plan ever could. When you stop saying, yes, out of guilt, you take back control of your time and your boundaries. Suddenly, you have the space to focus on what truly matters. The relationships, the goals, the dreams that actually align with your values. When you stop comparing, you regain your ability to appreciate your own lane. You stop feeling like you're behind, and you start noticing the unique opportunities and strengths you have right now. Gratitude returns, and with it comes a deeper motivation to keep building your life your way. And when you stop avoiding hard conversations, you remove the walls between you and the people who matter. You create clarity where there was confusion, resolution where there was tension, and trust where there was uncertainty. Quitting these habits doesn't make life perfect, but it does make it lighter. The constant mental noise quiets down, The self-imposed pressure eases. You begin to see your path more clearly because you're no longer tripping over the same patterns again and again, Growth speeds up when you're not wasting energy fighting invisible battles with yourself. Peace of mind grows when you know your decisions, your boundaries, your pace, and your relationships are all aligned with who you truly are. The best part, you don't have to wait months or years to feel the difference. The shift begins the moment you decide to stop feeding these habits. Even 1 week of conscious change can open your eyes to how much lighter, clearer, and more confident you can feel. So don't just think about it, start now. Put down the habits that have been quietly holding you back. Give yourself the gift of freedom, clarity, and momentum. Because when you let go of what's breaking you, you make room for what will build you.